It happened in a place meant for innocence, a first-grade classroom, laughter, crayons, tiny desks. But on February 29th, 2000, the unthinkable happened. A 6-year-old girl lay dying, a bullet in her tiny, fragile body, and the person who pulled the trigger, another 6-year-old, a baby himself, caught in a world of neglect and violence. This is the chilling, gut-wrenching story of Kayla Rolland. A name you may not know, but a tragedy that echoes through time. A tragedy that should have never happened. Kayla was just an ordinary first grader in Michigan, full of laughter, full of dreams, full of innocence. But in her classroom sat another child, a boy whose life had already been shaped by violence, by neglect, by a broken system that failed him. That boy would become the center of a nightmare that would shake the nation. That morning, as the teacher called the class together, the little boy, just 6 years old, reached into his pocket. What he pulled out wasn't a toy, wasn't a crayon. It was a cold, deadly .32 caliber handgun. His tiny fingers wrapped around the metal grip, and then he pointed it at Kayla, and he pulled the trigger. One shot, a single deafening shot. The teacher screamed, the children froze, and Kayla collapsed, her life draining away on the classroom floor. The bullet tore through her small frame. A few hours later, she was gone, forever. Shock, horror, grief. The questions came like a tidal wave. How could this happen? Why did this happen? How does a 6-year-old boy, barely out of toddlerhood, get his hands on a deadly weapon? The answer? A home plagued by chaos, a stolen gun carelessly left within reach, a system that saw the warning signs and did nothing. No charges were filed against the boy. Because how do you punish a child too young to understand the weight of death? Too young to even tie his own shoes properly? But his uncle, the man who left that gun within reach, the man whose life was steeped in crime, he faced justice. He went to prison. But for Kayla, it was too little, too late. Kayla Rolland should have grown up. She should have celebrated birthdays, danced at prom, chased her dreams. But instead, her name is a symbol of a nation's failure, a symbol of an innocent life stolen in a moment of preventable violence. And so we ask, are we truly any safer today? Or is history doomed to repeat itself? Right now, somewhere, another child may be reaching for something they should never hold. Another family may be on the brink of an irreversible tragedy. How many more lives must be lost before we wake up? Remember Kayla. Remember her story. Say her name. Because stories like hers should never be told again. And yet they still are.